Hello my lovelies, welcome back to my channel. If you are new here, hi, my name is Mary and I give you an extra warm welcome. I would love it if you grabbed a snack, stayed for a while, and click the subscribe button. I would love to have you. And if you're a returning viewer, thank you so much for coming back. I appreciate you more than you know. So as you can tell by the title of the video, my Pat McGrath order is here. We did stop by the new house yesterday in the afternoon. We dropped off a couple of more stuff. I finished cleaning the fridge. They left it a mess. It's disgusting. Well, it's not as bad as I have seen, but they did leave it pretty gross. My husband did a couple of things in the kids' room. We're just trying to get everything ready so that we can start actually sleeping over at the house. But yeah, this was delivered yesterday. Today is Saturday and I'm just excited to play around with it. So if you want to see what my thoughts are on the new Love Collection from Pat McGrath, then just go ahead and keep on watching. Okay, so like I mentioned, my order came yesterday. I picked up one of the new 6-pan palettes and one of the liquid shadows. Now, I did talk about this collection when she announced it. And there's 3 new 6-pan palettes. There is 2 blushes that are already existing in her permanent line. I don't know why she does that. She's just repackaged it basically. 2 liquid lips. I think it's 2. I don't know if those shades are new. And the 3 lipsticks in the Bridgerton packaging. So I don't know if those were just lipsticks that weren't ready before and now they are. And then I think the under eye powder, she put that in here too, just with the special packaging, which I think is just dumb. And then it looks like for the liquid eyeshadows, there is 7 different shades. And I only picked up 1 because I don't need this makeup. Okay, hair is pinned back. We're about to start an eye look. So here is the outer packaging of the palette. I think it's okay. I don't hate it. So this has a 12-month shelf life and it looks like it was made in the USA of US imported ingredients. Okay, so it's not a palette that's made in Italia. I don't know which ones I own that are made in the US. And the unicorn matches the actual palette itself. It's like pretty sturdy cardboard, and here it is. So the one I purchased is the Velvet Liaison, and it is the all matte palette. So I was going to purchase this one, the all matte, and the warm tone one. What is it called? Sublime Seduction, because I love warm tones. I'm a warm tones kind of gal. But the 3 matte shades, and I'll put a picture up here, look a lot like almost these 3 matte shades. And then I felt like in the other rosy one, these 3 matte shades almost look like the shades that are in that palette. So I decided, you know what, just buy the all matte and the liquid eyeshadow since that's shimmery, and you're fine. You don't need 2 of the 6-pan palette. This retails for $65. I feel like her 6-pan palettes are $65. These are the 4 that I have, and I'll share these with you after I'm done with the video and swatches. But yeah, $65 for a 6-pan. And then somebody made a comment about the price of this one since it's made from cardboard, and then the 5-pan. So I'll have to compare the sizes of the pans and kind of figure out why the price jumped so much. It's what, over $25 that it jumped. Okay, let's get started with our eye look, shall we? Okay, I did go into my NARS eye base in the shade Light. I don't know where I'm going to start or which. I could only do one eye look today because I have to wear this for the whole day since I'm doing a wear test for the KVD foundation. So having 2 different eye looks is not going to be acceptable today. Plus it's all mattes. Like there's only so much you can do with an all matte palette. All right, so I think I'm going to jump into the darkest brown. I think it's Midnight Mink. No, yeah, it has to be because the other one's Voluptuous Rose. Midnight Mink. I can never read when it's like this because I always mess them up. Okay, this is a Sigma Beauty double-ended brush, and I'm going to go in with the E38. I will be doing swatches of this palette. I'm just going to do the eye look first. I'm going to tap this on the outer corner. I'll tap first and then blend. Very pigmented, as you can see. I'm also going to bring it on the lower lash line. I have seen a couple of reviews on this just because I'm curious. I'm a curious bird. Okay, now I'm going to jump in to this one, which I think is Plum Provocateur. This is a BK Beauty 202, and I'm going to use this to blend out the edges of this dark brown. Okay, blending out pretty easily. Nothing short of a good formula. I know you either love the Patrick Ta matte formula or you don't. I don't know how many palettes from her that are made in the USA I have, but so far, like, you could see it. It's blending out very nicely. Okay, that's what it's looking like. So pretty. It's literally blending out like a dream. Okay, I don't know if I'm going to regret this, but let's try it out. I'm going to this middle warm tone shade. Enamored is what it's, hope I'm pronouncing that right. Okay, this is a crease Sonia G brush, and I'm lightly going to dip into it. I don't want it to be too overpowering right off the bat just because I don't know how it's going to look with this like almost rosy purple kind of shade. So I'm going to put this in the crease, and I'm going to blend it into that shade here. I'm going to just slowly build up the tone versus going in with too much right off the bat. I did see some reviews, don't remember if I mentioned that already, but one of the complaints people were having was that they were getting a lot of kickback on the pan. Well, it wasn't really a complaint, an observation, more than what they recall in the Mothership palettes. Maybe I'm not digging like too deep into the pan, but I'm not experiencing that. So yeah. Okay, that's what it's looking like, and I don't feel like it looks bad at all. Also, I said I was going to jump into this one, but I accidentally jumped into this one, and the name of that one is Voluptuous Rose. Not this one, which is Plum Provocateur. I went into this one. So far I've done the darkest black, this one here, and this warm tone brown. Now I'm going to jump into this shade right here, which is Barely Veiled, I think. Okay, this is a BK Beauty 204. I'm going to put that right in the inner lower lash, just a tiny bit. Feel like that would probably be like a perfect transition shade if you're starting that way. Okay, we're going to put this to the side for now because we're going to jump into the liquid shadow. So this is the Fetish Eye Longwear Liquid Eyeshadow. I picked up the shade Lunar Rose, which looks like a pinky rosy cool tone kind of shade. We'll see if it's cool tone. So it's a liquid shimmer shadow, creamy texture, ultra blendable, crease proof, smudge proof, a 10-hour plus wear. It retails for $29, and it says here it's 0.20 ounces. So here is the packaging. I will give Pat McGrath that. She does really good on the outer packaging. She doesn't always do well with the actual product's packaging. Okay, so this has a 6-month shelf life. That's a very small shelf life. And it was made in Italia. The main reason I wanted to pick this up is because it reminds me of the Lisa Eldridge little liquid shadows that she has. I forget what she calls them. So I will be comparing the formula to that in a swatch later on. I have like a champagne-y kind of shade from Lisa Eldridge. I didn't want to have two of the same shades, and that's why I didn't pick up the champagne shade. What is it called? Divine Champagne. So I wanted to pick up something different that I knew if I gravitated towards it, I would use it more. And this is the other one. I almost picked up Platinum Bronze, but I thought it was going to be a tiny bit too dark for my liking. Okay, so this is what it looks like. I'm not sure how I feel about this. I don't think it looks luxe by any means, but it's all right. I mean, it's all right. Okay, this is the applicator, and we're gonna swatch it right here. Okay, so it looks pretty. It looks very, very pretty. Let me blend out a tiny bit of it just to see, because right now it just looks like a normal shimmer. Well, maybe when you blend it out, I do feel like it has a tiny bit more impact. Okay, yeah, when you blend it out, that's when you can see those fine shimmers. You see that? All right, so I think what I'm going to do is one eye, I'll apply it straight to the eyelid, and the other, I'll use what I have on here. Let's use this like small little fluffy flat brush. This is the A29 from Morphe and Ariel. This is already drying down, so I didn't put any glitter glue. I didn't think I needed it, because it's a liquid shadow. Oh, look at that sparkle. Pretty. Yeah, I'm gonna have to put some more down because it already dried out. So the good thing is it dries down. It dries down. But look at that. Look at the shimmer. Wow. Okay. Now I definitely feel like it could be more intense, but I picked up when it was already drying down. So let me put just a tiny bit more. So FYI, it dries down fairly quick. Work fast. Picking up more. But that's really pretty. It's definitely reminded me of the Lisa Eldridge, and I love hers. It's so, so pretty. Okay, one eye is done. Now we're going to apply straight on to the eyelid and see how that goes. Since it dries down fast, I'm going to apply it sparingly. Using the same brush, I'm going to blend it out. Okay, that worked very well. And if you lose any of those mattes, just go back and reinforce them. Okay, that looks very pretty. Very, very pretty. So I definitely feel that these have a more of an impact once you blend them out versus applying a thick layer and then just kind of moving it around. I think blending them out is when you're going to get more of a punch. Okay, and lastly, I'm going to jump into this cream shade right here, and then that way the only shade I haven't used is the purpley one. Beige Bliss is the name. Hopefully I can actually use it as an outer corner, but from the looks, well, I don't know, it might be darker once I apply it. Let's see. Oh well, okay, it's more pigmented than I thought. But yeah, I think it's doing an okay job. Not superb. Could be a tiny bit lighter, but I do like it. Okay, and here is what the completed face looks like. I did not have highlighter. I went into this Pillow Talk highlighter wand in Pillow Talk. This is my, this is pretty new to me. This is only the second time I've used it. So I used that for highlighter and to highlight my brow bone. I felt like it went with the liquid shadow. Okay, for the lips, I did go into Negligee. This shade is part of the Bridgerton collection. Was it the second go round? I think it was the second go round. This is the same packaging of the lipsticks for this Love collection. Okay, everything else I will go ahead and link it down below. But let's talk about this. I'm going to swatch it real quick. So let's do the first 3 shades. Okay, they feel soft. I feel like they don't feel as soft as like the ones in her Mothership palettes, but they do feel soft. Good swatches. The only time I did get some kick up, like more than normal on the pan, was with the lightest shade when I was dipping into it for the inner corner. For the other shades, I don't feel like I did while I was dipping my brush in there. Swatching the bottom row, maybe it's just the shades. They do feel a tiny bit more dry than the top row, but not by much. I'm running out of space. Okay, so, but you can see, you probably can't see, but in the swatches I could see that they are a tiny bit more powdery than we're used to with Pat McGrath. Okay, so there are the swatches. We already know how I performed. I like to use the palette before I swatch. I'm just weird like that. I do own 4 other of her 6-pan palettes, but I did want to pull this one out because this one has 5 shades. I wanted to see the size of the pans. Somebody asked, why is this 65 and this one only 39? So the pan sizes are smaller. That could be why. These were made in Italia and these were made in the US. So my guess would be you get more product with this. It's probably more to make this packaging than it is to make this one. But it is a good point. It is a valid question. And I just wanted to compare the sizes of the pans. But none of these shades look similar to any of these. Yeah, I don't think any of these look too similar. Not even the brown. Maybe a tiny bit. This only has 1 matte. Okay, the one that really reminded me of an older palette, the rosy one. I forget what it's called. Okay, now looking at it, not at all. Let's see if any of the mattes in this palette. So maybe this top one, this top rosy one. Yeah, so maybe this one is the only one that I see that's close to this one. And this packaging feels more sturdy, more just like it maybe costs a tiny bit more than this one. This is the Rose Decadence. Okay, here is this one here, which is the Platinum Bronze. I was excited to have this one because it's like a very grungy, smoky kind of palette. This one's like all satin kind of shades and just 1 matte, but let's still compare. So not really, right? Maybe, no, but that's like a satin shade. Maybe the matte brown is close. A tiny bit. I feel like this one's a tiny bit more, like it has more warm tone than this brown in here. And this packaging feels so much more sturdier as well than this one. Out of this one, and this one, I feel like this is the sturdiest and feels more luxe as far as the 6 pans go. Okay, now the Bridgerton, the second go round. I doubt any of the shades. I mean, there is just 1 matte, the dark burgundy brown, and the other mattes in here are almost like a velvet matte. Not even close to that purple, maybe a tiny bit. And then the pink in here, not really, just that purple maybe. Okay, and last but not least, the first, was this the first? I can't remember which one came first. Belle of the Ball is this one. The blue one is Diamond of the First Water. I think this one was the first one. I don't remember. Yeah. Okay, so here is the Bridgerton Belle of the Ball. Yeah, I think that burgundy shade is similar to the one in that's blue packaging, but for comparison reasons, not even close. Maybe to this one, this one right here, to the burgundy a tiny bit, maybe. Yeah. So from the 6 pens that I have, I don't have too many repeat shades, just shades that look very close to some of the new shades. I would have to check all of my mothership palettes, but this video is already going to be pretty long, and I kind of wanted to just compare to my 6 pen palettes in my collection, which I feel like I have quite a bit now. Okay, so now we are going to compare the formula of the Pat McGrath versus the Lisa Eldridge. I personally prefer this packaging versus this one. I don't know if it's the shiny black that's throwing me off, but you can tell that you definitely get more amount with the Pat McGrath. The Lisa Eldridge has 0.09 grams and it retails for $27, and the Pat McGrath has 0.2 grams and it retails for $29. So you get more product, a little over double, and it's only $2 more than the Lisa Eldridge. But let me go ahead and swatch these. I'm going to swatch them on my other hand because this one still has the palette swatches. Okay, so the shade I have is Emily, which is like a cool tone kind of champagne-y shade. There it is. It's very, very pretty. When you blend it out, it looks absolutely stunning. And I'm going to swatch the Pat McGrath. Shades aren't going to be exactly the same, but here, those are kids outside. Ooh, okay. The Lisa Eldridge feels very soft, almost like it turns to powder when you swatch it. Okay, now the texture feels very, very similar. When you swatch it, the Pat McGrath stays a tiny bit wet, a little bit longer than the Lisa Eldridge. But you can see the Lisa Eldridge has just a tiny bit more reflect than the Pat McGrath. On the fingers, it looks very similar. But on the swatch, I feel like the Lisa Eldridge is just a tiny bit more impactful. And it dries down completely. It feels very velvety soft on the skin, like just swatching it here. It just feels soft. And then the Pat McGrath, it doesn't feel as soft. It still feels soft and you can tell that it's dried down. But texture-wise, I'm enjoying the Lisa Eldridge a tiny bit more. I just feel like this one has more reflect. I don't know if it's because of the shade, but this one just, it's like bam in your face. Okay, my lovelies, well, I hope this video helped you out in deciding whether you want to pick anything up or not from the collection. If I'm being 100% honest, you probably already have these shades in your collection. There's not too much makeup that's being released that has never been seen before. It just depends on 1, your financial situation, 2, how big of a Pat McGrath fan you are, and 3, if you are upset with the shipping and are one of those people who are still waiting on your Star Wars collection, because she's been getting a lot of backlash. I feel like a lot of people have been complaining that they still don't have their Star Wars collection. Luckily for this go around, I received this within a week of ordering it, which is crazy. I think the only time that happened was was it the very first time I ordered? I don't know, but it hasn't happened too often. I want to say this is only the second time it's happened. I feel like the palette itself is a pretty one. I'm very glad that I ended up picking the all matte one because I feel that if I would have gone with any of the other ones, I would have definitely found some very close dupes to what I already have in my other palettes. I feel like it performed great. I I do love this eye look. I think it is absolutely stunning. I didn't put any mascara on my lower lashes, nor did I do any eyeliner. I feel like it looks good just as it is. And I am really enjoying this as well. I feel like the formula is pretty close to the Lisa Eldridge. It is $2 more, but you do get double the product, a tiny bit more than double the product, which is nice. Take all of that information as you wish so that you can make your decision if you want to pick something up or not. Okay, my lovelies, well, thank you so much for being here. I appreciate every single one of you. You have no idea. It literally means the world to me when you comment, you like, when you use my links. It just means so much to me, and I appreciate you. Okay, with that being said, I would love it if you gave this video a big thumbs up. I would greatly appreciate it, and you would definitely help me out in the algorithm of hopefully bringing some new fresh eyes to my channel. And if you haven't done so already, I would love it if you joined my small YouTube family by clicking the subscribe button. I would love to have you. Okay, my lovelies, I will see you on the next video. Bye.